Hello everyone and welcome back. We're going to jump into game 4 of the finals in the Western qualifiers between Grubby, our green Protoss here, in the 2 o'clock position against his opponent in the 8 o'clock position, mTwDIMAGA, our red Zerg representing mTW. Currently Grubby is up 2-1. We're here on Antigua Shipyard. Pretty crazy map in PvZ where it's pretty wide open in the center, so, you know, Forces Colossus end up being a little less effective. You can get more surrounds, but then in the later game, Broodlords are less effective, of course. Ultra's a little bit more effective. On some other maps, it can be really hard to get up to that stage of the game, though, because of the architecture. Yeah, you can take 3 base, and you don't have too many choke points to defend, but then going to take a 4th can be pretty difficult. Often you have to take the center expansion, which is just not ideal for most situations. It's hard to defend. Are we going to see another relatively early pool here from mTwDIMAGA? This time, critically, we see, look at this, a Probe Scout after Pylon from Grubby, as opposed to the Probe Scout after Forge, which we were seeing on the 2-player maps. So clearly showing that on a 4-player map, he wants to make sure he can get out there and scout in time and realize what's going on. And he's going to scout cross positions first. That's going to find mTwDIMAGA immediately. He saw that Overlord moving. He knew for sure. He was like, oh, great. Awesome. I know where you are. I'm going to scout this immediately. No chance of a hatch first from mTwDIMAGA. And are we going to see another drone? He is making more drones. Not going to go for that 14 pool again. And we're going to see that Forge first, though, from Grubby. I mean, it's a wide ramp, but generally when we see this pool timing, players are able to get away with Nexus first, especially on cross positions, and then make their wall. But this could signify that Grubby wants to go for another one of his cannon rushes we've been seeing him doing pretty often. And in fact, there is a pylon getting thrown down already. Let's see if he throws on extras. He might just be doing this to make the drones get pulled. Because if the drones get pulled and then you just cancel, it's like the Zerg loses a lot of mining time. It's a great move. You don't lose too much. Yeah, and he is going to cancel. Great moves by Grubby. I love that play. Like, it's so subtle. I'm sure a lot of players like watch this and like, why does he keep trying to do that? It's so fail. Like, his cannon rush isn't going to work. The drones are already there. Well, that's a lot of missed mining time there for Grubby, for mTwDIMAGA, and he only lost 25 minerals to drop that pylon and then cancel it. So, it's just really cool plays, man. Like, mTwDIMAGA can't afford to not send those drones because then he'll actually cannon rush if the drones don't get sent. And he's still blocking that hatchery with this probe micro. Hatchery will go down now for mTwDIMAGA, though. 4 lings in the queen area on the way. And he does go cannon before second pylon, before gateway. So he really wants to be safe with the cannon, wants to make sure he can pump out lots of probes with the pylon, as opposed to really rushing out tech. Now, signifies he wants to play a little more macro-oriented here. Make sure he can get some more continuous probe production. We should see the double gas start here immediately, once he gets the minerals for it. And there it is, double gas transition, totally standard. There's the 3rd base from mTwDIMAGA, 3 hatch, no gas. This is a 100% standard PvZ, guys. 100%. That's where you're going to see the majority of games, except for, you know, that cute little fake cannon rush trick. And that's why he goes forward. You could be saying to yourself, like, well, he's just never going to do it. Just don't send your probes, or don't send your drones. That's why he goes forward first instead of Nexus. Because if the drones don't get sent, then he cannon rushes, and that's just so great. So effective. 1 gas on the way from mTwDIMAGA. This is becoming more and more popular around the 5-minute mark to throw down that 1 gas and just get up an early speed. Certainly the style that mTwDIMAGA seems to like a lot. And then go up to 2 gas and get double Evo chamber. Look at these ling positionings. He's got 1 outside the natural, and then in case some probe magically gets by that he's not noticing, he's also got these lings patrolling over here, including the Zalaga Tower being held. Great play by mTwDIMAGA. Really preventing any possible scouting or map control from Grubby. So that's what you want to do. You don't want to let the Protoss scout out exactly what you're going for. You don't want to let them see your gas timings. I mean, you've seen the 3rd hatchery, but you really don't want to let them see, like, if you're taking gas in your natural, if you're taking gas in your main, how many, at what timing, how many drones are at each base. Queen at the 3rd on the way. Yet again, mTwDIMAGA not bothering to make extra queens, just likes that 1 queen per base style. Look at that instant inject. Even though his hatcheries aren't synced up, I mean, if they're synced up, it makes it so easy. Just, like, go to every hatchery at once. But when they're not, to get those, like, instant injects, just requires to pay a lot of attention. Now, granted, there's not that many things to pay attention to at this stage of the game, but you'd be surprised. You're scouting everywhere with those lings, trying to find forward pylons or probes. You're trying to scout in with your Overlord and figure out what the Protoss is doing. You're trying to macro perfectly behind it, not miss Overlords. Transfer stuff to gas, take gas, make drones. So it's good to see him, you know, just injecting properly. You got to be able to do that if you're going to beat someone like Nesty. which Damaga has. +1 now being started for Grubby as he's already up to 4 gas and is getting a Stargate. Doesn't look like +1 4-gate Zealot again because of this late +1. It looks like pretty much the same build we saw last game. So Phoenix Harass, probably into Colossus again. You know, it worked for him kind of 2 games in a row. Not really. The previous game was a little bit different, but if it worked for him last game, why not do it again? Damaga is adding his double Evo chamber. This looks like pretty much a repeat, like a total mirror of what we saw last game. Should see that Baneling Nest start pretty soon. Once he's ready. First he's got to get one started obviously with all of his gas. Got these links checking, making sure there's no third on the way. More gates coming up from Grubby. And a Twilight this game, not a Robo. So, oh, this is so smart. Oh my god, I'm so in love with what Grubby's doing right now. Alright, keep this in mind, guys. This is straight up best of 3 or best of 5 mentality. This is not like you go on ladder and do this. This is Grubby in the last game showed Phoenix Harass and then rushed Colossus. And it punished the fact that Damaga was going Ling Hydra. And this game, what does Grubby do? He's going to show Phoenix Harass at the same timing. He's going to make Damaga think, oh, okay, you're doing Phoenix Harass, you're going to go up to Colossus again. And then he's just going to go Mass Blink Stalker. Totally faking him out. That might cause Damaga to go up to Spire Tech to do it with the Colossi or something. And instead it's just going to be all Blink Stalker. Like just, oh, such a good mind game move here by Grubby. Layer's already 3/4 of the way done from Damaga. He's got his Baneling Nest on the way. 1/1 about 2/3 of the way done. And he's adding Spores. So we'll be prepared against this. But oh, this Queen is going to go down. Great job by Grubby picking it off in a position that was not covered by that Spore Crawler. And he does get the relift. Oh, another Queen does pop out right now though. But oh, the Phoenix lifting it just out of range of that Spore. And now the Queen's going to go down yet again. And all these drones not mining either. He doesn't want to lose drones right now. I'm surprised he doesn't just keep mining. There's only so many lifts they can do. And, you know, you can just rebuild those drones pretty easily. I'm really surprised he would want to not mine. But he will continue mining now. More Overload's going to go down here, hopefully. Yeah, he'll go pick that off. Meanwhile, though, Ling's going to maybe try to go for a bust here at the 3rd if Grubby's army's out of position. He has stopped. Phoenix production is going for Blink and Templar Archives right now. I got to wonder, is it just for Archives? Is he going to mix in Storm? Meanwhile, drop play on the way from Damaga. He's unfazed by all the Phoenixes. No gas at the 3rd, so he's not going to be able to make, you know, Infestor transition or Spire or mix in tons of Banes, but we'll still be able to a pretty decent amount off 4 gas. 2/2's already on the way for him. Phoenix is going to pick off another Queen here. Great control by Grubby, just continuing to limit the, you know, the creep tumors, the transfuses, the larva injections. Oh, he did lose a Phoenix there in the process though, and oh, he might lose another one. He does lose another Phoenix down to just 3. That does hurt. And here come the speedies. They're going to run to the natural. Can the Citrus get the Force Field? Can get the Force Field on time? Oh no, he doesn't get the Force Field. The Lings just stream up into the main base. That's going to be pretty annoying for Grubby to deal with. He does blink back, but that shows blink. He's seen the Templar Archives. He knows he's up against High Templar play with Storm. These Lings, unfortunately, unable to pick off too many pros. Just going for some Stalkers right now. But that pulls the army out of position. Now he can go for the 3rd. Is he just going to target the Nexus? He does target the Nexus. All the sentries out of position. He can't drop the force fields. He's going to blink in place, but I don't think he can stop this. Ling's just doing too much DPS here. The Nexus is going to go down, I think. Oh, forces! Never mind! Clutch force fields by Grubby using, oh my god, the combination. The blink to limit surface area with his Stalkers and the force field on the top. I can't believe it. He saves the Nexus with 99 HP. What an amazing clutch move, but at the same time, there are some Zerglings in the main. Still, Damaga is throwing away a lot of Lings and hasn't done... Well, he's killed 22 probes. That's way more than I thought he killed. Oh my god, he killed a lot more than natural while that was happening. He killed a ton of the natural I didn't notice. The relentless aggression with 2/2 Zerglings here from Damaga really working out for him. That is insane. 40 probes to 64 drones. A huge economic lead here for Damaga. And Grubby doesn't really have a way to counter. It's not like he can say, oh, I lost a lot of probes, just go counterattack. Because he was just at a moment when he was about to get benefit from his 3rd base. He does not have a lot of units. So he just has to kind of triple Chrono probes and just try to get back into this game economically. But Zerglings are surrounded, going to pick off a sentry. He needs to blink back with these Stalkers. He's taking a lot of damage. The 2/2 on these Zerglings dealing so much damage. Looks like Damaga finally going to fall back. But, you know, Grubby's army is just getting smaller and smaller. It's really allowing Damaga to keep up the pressure here. Excuse me, he hasn't had 2/2 that whole time. He's just about to complete 2/2. That was all in 1/1. against the 1-0 of Grubby's. Grubby really needs to get that +2. It makes a huge difference. You can actually, it makes like the biggest difference. With +2, you 2-shot Zerglings with Stalkers instead of 3-shot. Huge deal. But he probably knows he's up against +1 Carapace, so we need like +3 to deal with that. Still, you want to get those upgrades pumping. Archon's on the way. Really nice choice to help deal with these all these Speedlings. You obviously want some Storm as well, but Archon's really going to help you out. A couple Roaches being mixed in. In fact, 18 Roaches now on the way, so realizing that, okay, my opponent's going for Storm. What's greater against Storm? Roaches. Great move. Maybe even Ultras later on if he had the gas for it, but clearly not going to have that yet. Infestation Pit just now starting, so nowhere even near Hive Tech. You're still getting a 4th base behind this, though. And look at how many units he's massing up in the middle here. I gotta wonder if he's gonna morph a whole bunch of Banes. He is getting Burrow play. He's getting Baneling speed, so it seems like maybe he's gonna morph a bunch of Banes here. More drones on the way, though, since he really hasn't had his 3rd saturated this whole time. It's really undersaturated on minerals, let alone, you know, for gas. So this has been really invested by DIMAGA, but he certainly did the damage, especially with that Ling attack into the natural. Grubby continuing to set up a wall off here to help prevent against run-bys, especially with how low this Nexus is. You notice he's chronoing it, even though he's not making probes. That makes the shields regenerate quicker. Cool move by Grubby. Something a lot of players don't realize. He's got to be careful with these engagements. Oh, Storm goes down. Totally dodged by DIMAGA. Another Storm. Storm's going off on these Lings, but they're not really hitting, and all the Templar get picked off except for one. Oh my god, every Templar gets picked off. Great play by DIMAGA there. Target fighting those Templar. One is left on the upper ground. Drops on a Storm, but doesn't do that much damage. Storm just too easily evaded by how fast Speedlings are in StarCraft 2 here. Looks like DIMAGA going to be forced back for now, but with the 30, like however many Lings on the way and Roach reinforcements, this next wave is going to be scary. There's no sentries for Force Field, there's no Templar for Storms, no Archons. All he has are Blink Stalkers and Zealots with +1. Going to be 1-1 against 2-2. Although they'll only be 1-0 for the Roaches. Or 1-1. 1-2. What am I saying? Oh, a nice Zealot counterattack here. Doing some damage to the Tatry. Won't be able to kill it with these Lings moving over, though. Phoenix is taking out some of these Overlords, taking out some of the map control of DIMAGA. You know, he's got drop play and he's got Baneling tech. I would love to see him start setting up some, you know, Baneling drops into the mineral lines. If you could get by the Phoenixes. Maybe he's just going to set up Baneling mines. Oh my god, are we going to see Baneling landmines into PVZ? So cool. Especially if you can successfully get the Protoss to walk. Oh, he is going to go Baneling drops. Oh my god, thank you, DIMAGA. But the Phoenixes might stop it. He does spot the Overlord. He might just be able to stop these Banelings from getting in. Is he just going to unload them right now? Or is he going to wait till he gets to the mineral line? The probes are not being pulled. He needs to unload them. Stalkers. Oh, he loses it. But that's why you got to set up multi-pronged ones. You can't just go for one at a time. You need to send one in the third, one in the main, so the Phoenixes can't be everywhere at once. Or set up fake ones like that. Send in a fake Overlord that has no units in, and then send in the Overlord with the Banelings. Don't just send in the Overlord with the Banelings by itself. This 4th base was established, but has no drones at it just yet. DIMAGA really maxing out a lot off just mainly a 3-base economy. And there's his Greater Spire already on the way. So we'll be able to mix in some Broodlords here. Grubby finally going to add in some Colossus tech, add in some splash damage here. Keep in mind he has Templar tech. He has 5 Templar here with Storm, but wasn't able to rebuild in the Archons. Oh, Phoenix is just picking off a couple Banes at a time. Just burrow. Yeah, just burrow if you want to save yourself against this. If you don't want to lose Banelings, just burrow them. Phoenixes can't lift them without vision. Oh my god, Grubby's going to move out right now before he has Colossi. +2 close completion, though. Blinking forward. Oh my god, he might be walking right into his trap. DIMAGA's whole army is burrowed right there. He might just be able to unburrow right on top of these units and pick off the Templar, pick off. Oh, he sees it! What? Did Grubby have an observer in that army? Did he just know? Oh my god, what? Are you kidding me right now? Grubby must have noticed with the Phoenixes. There's his only observer. He didn't know. Oh my god, Grubby is so smart. Holy crap. I can't even describe how intelligent that was. Noticing the burrow with his Phoenixes, realizing that the units were probably still there, and blindly storming it before he had an observer in position. I can't believe it. Grubby is so intelligent, paying so much attention to the minimap. I cannot... wow, with no observer, he was able to do that. Now, granted, if DIMAGA just hadn't unburrowed, he probably could have saved the Roaches. They wouldn't have died while burrowed, but still, man, he would have lost all the Lings. And now with no Roaches left alive, he can just blink forward, target fight on the Broodlords. Great timing for Grubby to move out and attack. Perfect timing right before the Broodlords are going to pop out. If all those Broodlords had finished, this would have been almost impossible for Grubby to push. That many Broods, but they all die before finishing. A great play. Amazing timing attack here by Grubby. He's blinking back. Taking a lot of damage from Roaches and Lings right now, though, on these Stalkers. But look at what he did at the bottom right. A Zealot counterattack took out the hatchery. So all of a sudden, DIMAGA down to 3 bases against a 3-base Protoss. Now all the Blink Stalkers are dying, but he lost so many Broodlords. Such a huge investment. I don't know if he has what it takes to come back against that with Colossi pumping out here from Grubby. Without Broodlords to deal with it, I don't even know if he has many Corruptors left. Let's check. 1 Corruptor, 6 Broodlords on the way. Where are those? Are they at the front? Okay, they are at the front. Oh my god, he's not leaving a single Corruptor for the Colossi. He doesn't know Colossi are on the way. And oh my god, the Stalkers are going to be able to just run forward and pick off some more Broodlords yet again. Oh, this is so brutal, picking off the Broods before they even complete. Oh no, a Colossus is going to die though. Slight miss micro by Grubby, but otherwise he's doing a great job limiting the Broodlord count. Broodlords are hard to deal with, man, so if you can just prevent them from even popping out, that's a great way to deal with them. 4th base still hasn't been retaken here by DIMAGA, so he's still just on 3 bases. Unfortunately, 2 drones in that extractor, not the biggest deal, but just always unfortunate. Just 5 Broods. He does have 4 Queens here, but remember that Grubby can warp in Templar and feedback Queens. Still Chrono, not Colossi. Trying to get that, desperately trying to get that Colossus range upgrade that would have prevented that earlier engagement from, you know, losing him that Colossus against the Roaches. Great control here by Grubby, just continuing to be aggressive with these Stalkers and blink back. He's still in a precarious situation, though. He did not get +3, guys. Did not continue to +3, and he's still just on 3 bases. So there's like a limited amount of Stalkers he can actually make here. DIMAGA is taking that central expansion, finally. Retaking that 4th base, so important. I love that Grubby has this Zealot on patrol to make sure there's no bases over here. He does have a Zealot patrolling the top left as well. No Observer over his opponent's army right now. No Observer actually at all. And he's moving forward. He's got 2 Colossi. One of them not with his army. There we go. An Archon, a bunch of Stalkers. He's going for a bit of a flank maneuver here. That's a lot of Corruptors, Broods to do this on. He's blinking forward. I don't know if this is the best move for Grubby. He's taking a lot of damage from his Stalkers. His Broodlords, they're doing so much damage. Some Broodlords are starting to take damage, but they're being transfused. That did not work out at all for Grubby, and he just lost a lot of Blink Stalkers. That is so much gas to invest on that upper ground central location there for DIMAGA. The Queen's really paying off for him. Grubby doing a great job continuing to blink forward and just be aggressive with the Stalkers, but I don't know if it's enough. DIMAGA, even after losing all those early Broods, may have done it here. I just don't know how you can do it with that many Broods without, you know, he's getting Void Rays, but only the first one on the way now. That's way too late. Blinks forward, trying to pick off the Broods, but, oh, Queens just transfused. God, Queens are good. With their new range, it's like, why wouldn't you just make, like, 12 Queens to support your army at all times in the late game? 1 Brood does get picked off. Nice blink there by Grubby, but it's 100 food to 159. They're even on workers, but that's 4 bases for the Zerg. Much better spread out since the mains are mined out. Colossi doing a lot of damage here, but not enough. Broods are just killing everything. And we should see GG. Oh my god, we're going to go to game 5, guys. That is so sick. DIMAGA has evened it up to 2-2. I hope my throat lasts. Sorry, guys, I'm solo casting. Maybe like save my throat here at the end of the game when it's like over. I don't know. I don't know. Grubby, you know, oh, I'm just looking at that Nexus. It's just like bringing back memories of how he saved that Nexus. So sick in this game. I really thought he had it. Like, I really did. He had taken out so much of DIMAGA's forces. He caught up back in probes after that early Zerging attack. He killed off so many Broodlords. But he just couldn't quite secure the win. Those Blink Stalkers, it's one of those situations where Blink Stalkers have an endless skill cap. You know, that big engagement that happened at the bottom left, after he killed the Broods, you could look at that situation and kind of think to yourself, well, hey, those Stalkers barely got cleaned up, and he had that one big blink away. So it really wasn't all that cost efficient. Unfortunately, there's the GG, 2-2, tied up. Wasn't quite as cost efficient as it could have been. Yet again, I'm nitpicking right now because, like, even though Grubby played amazingly that game, you got to look at, like, well, what could he have done better to try to win? That's what you got to look at. And it's one of those situations where one of the biggest moments in that game are when he had those Blink Stalkers that killed off the Broods. They were being surrounded by Roaches. If he had just slightly more cost-efficient blinking, 1 Stalker back at a time instead of blinking the entire group back on the low ground where they then got surrounded and taken out, maybe with slightly better blinking, he could have won that engagement and just won the game right there. I don't know, guys. It's tough to say. Tough to say. We're going to move into Game 5 either way and find out who's the victor here. These guys are tied up, playing so evenly in these matches. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back to find out who's going to win the tiebreaker after this quick commercial break.